Hello, and welcome back to the Coop Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Tommy Lazaridis to discuss Chelsea versus Aston Villa from the FA Cup fourth round back on Friday night on Australia Day. So it's going to be a replay. 0-0 was the final score, and after a weird period in the season where we've had a mid-season break, we've had FA Cup. We're coming into the real meat and potatoes now. We got Newcastle on Tuesday night in the Premier League, then Sheffield United on Saturday, and we will be talking about all that, transfers, and much more after this. Okay, yeah. So we were at Stamford Bridge on Friday night. Yes, Chelsea with the opponent. And going into this game, Tommy, I was a little bit nervous. Thought maybe this could be a difficult night. And it was a difficult night for probably the first, I would say, hour of the game. Chelsea had a lot of opportunities. We found ourselves, Villa, that is, getting sort of coughing the ball up a lot, trying to build up from the back. And Emmy had to come to our rescue like he has so many times before.
I was about to say, that's right. It's got two words, Emmy Martinez.
Yes.
And I mean, look, I'd probably say Chelsea were the better team for most of the game, and I probably think they're on the up. Let's be real. They've had a pretty good squad on paper. It was a matter of if not when they gel, and looks like they're starting to become a little bit more cohesive. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a push in the Prem. Second of all, I know we're joking pre-podcast. That's not a Birmingham City fan waiting in the background trying to murder me. It's just my blue Kathmandu jacket that I wear to work. And no, there's no crimson one that I could have bought. Maybe there is. I don't know. Kathmandu. Come on,
after the violence at West Brom Wolves last night, it's not been a good week for the West Midlands. We've had a bit of a bad rap, but that's West Brom and Wolves fans for you. But that's
football, mate.
That is football. They got a little bit too excited, but that's not what we want to see, especially from our noisy neighbours. But look. The game itself for Villa, I thought our fans were great. We took 6,000 down there. It felt like, in that second half, we were attacking the Holt end. There was so many Villa fans there making great noise all night. And, we had some chances. Tillemans had a couple of absolute cracking chances in the first half, a header that he really sort of just fluffed and put into the ground. Should have done better. Then he had one as well where he put it over the bar where, he tried to side foot place it and just, got underneath it a little bit. And then, of course, there was the goal that was disallowed by Dougie. Replay suggests it was a clear handball, but kind of annoys me that, if we were playing, say, Ipswich away, that goal would have counted because – there's only VAR for the Premier League grounds, so it's one of those things where, we talked about it before, I think, but I think it needs to be consistent. It needs to be VAR for everyone or no VAR at all, in my opinion.
I completely agree with that, Scott. And I've said it for a while, right? Either apply it everywhere or don't. So, I mean, look, a bit of a digression. I actually thought the set pieces were pretty good all game, right? I think McPhee's earned his money all of a sudden, and yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed our set pieces. I think, we're very unpredictable now of set pieces, which is great. I think that's our little thing. Long live Austin McPhee, or Nanny McPhee, as Troy used to call him. God rest his soul. So, anyway, I still thought we fought a good fight. Chelsea have got a war chest of money. I mean, we're on the up, but they're just shelling out cash, and they've always been a great side. It wasn't going to be easy. The bridge either. I think I called the 0-0 draw. I did say it's going to go to pens, but then I realised it's not pens. So I think you and I called a draw. I don't know if it was 0-0.
We did call a draw. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, and I think at Villa Park it's going to be a far different game, and we can certainly up the ante and play better than we did.
Right.
I think that on a positive note, look, third game in a row with a clean sheet. Middlesbrough, Everton, and now Chelsea. So that's a positive. I thought, I thought we came back into the game the second half and we were
Correct.
probably the better team in that last half an hour. And we've done that before this season. I think Tottenham probably springs to mind away as the game where we got battered for the first half an hour and then changed it around, Emery tweaked a few things and played much better in the second half. And I think we did today as well, or on Friday night. And look, there was a few things I noticed in the first half that were a bit different in that the high line wasn't quite as high. I thought we sort of dropped off a bit, and maybe they were worried about the pace of Medweke and Sterling and Cole Palmer. And they were causing Longley especially some issues. He didn't have his best game after playing quite well. Yeah. So what did you think of that? Do you think that's something we might see against maybe the better teams, like not quite as high line as, in previous games?
I think Emery now knows when to and when not to apply it. I think applying it all the time, you do roll the dice, and maybe we reduce the percentage of the times that it is exposed. So I think now we're very selective when to play it and maybe against which teams. So I still think we played it pretty well, but I definitely noticed it wasn't as high as usual. And to be honest, you need that, right? I know we can trust Emmy, but if someone gets through, then there's 10 meters freedom. I'd rather them have 5 meters, and maybe Emmy will react quick and narrow that to 1 or 2. And I thought it worked well though. I'm not going to lie. I really think that it did. I really think we're missing Torres, to be honest. He's just such a big loss. That's just a big gap all of a sudden, just those balls forward. I mean, Longley can ping him forward, don't get me wrong. But Torres just a different beast. And I even think his defense has actually improved quite a lot as well. He's always been a good tackler and interceptor, but I know we questioned his heading start of the season. He's got all these goals off set pieces from heading and become a bit of a bulldog. So I'm a bit bummed out about that.
Yeah, and his injury seems to be sort of lingering on as well with Jacob
I think it's
Ramsey.
elongated. Yeah, it's a lot worse than they said by the sounds of it, because we were told, week or two, and it's been a lot longer than that, to be honest. Or he's re-aggravated, as you said.
I know, yeah, and we've had all these weeks off in the mid-season break and all that, so yeah, it seems to be going on a bit longer than expected, but he's certainly a big loss. And with Longley, I think the one thing that really gives me the jit is not so much his long balls and that sort of thing, but when we're trying to pass the ball out in those tight areas at the back, it seems to be sort of not his game at all.
He's the weak link.
Yeah, he's exactly. He's the weak link. Like Moreno, Emmy at the back, Consa. They seem quite comfortable at this. I think Cash as well was a little bit of a weak thing for him. But I thought he had a pretty good game actually. On Friday. But I thought in the midfield we were great. I thought McGinn, Kamara, Louise all had solid games. Diaby was the other one that a lot of people on social media were calling out and saying that maybe we got a little bit carried away early in the season with him. What are your thoughts on how he's been going?
I think he probably hasn't lived up to it. I mean, I know Bailey's hit a patch of form, right? But I wouldn't say a patch of form. He's been the better out of the two the entire season.
Yeah.
But Diaby hit the ground running, and I'm just surprised why he's dropped off. Are we not playing to his strengths? Do we need to mix it up a bit? I tend to think he actually plays a bit better when he's behind the forward as opposed to out wide. So maybe that's a change Emery can make. I'm not saying I listen in, but hey. But I definitely think we need to be playing to his strengths. We know we shelled out money on him. He was meant to be the big name signing, and I don't think we're playing to his strengths. So I will let him off, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting to see him a little bit closer to Watkins because, it does say a 4-4-2 on the team sheet, but it does turn into a 4-3-3 pretty quickly most of the time, especially when we're in possession. And Diaby does drift out to that right-hand side and try and, get the fullback one-on-one. And he's a bit of a one-trick pony in the, he likes to come in on his left foot, but we've seen a lot of players like that over the years, especially in the last sort of 10 years with the inverted fullbacks. And I think that some are better at it than others, but yeah, he certainly needs to pick it up and hopefully have a strong end to the season because we need him. And he was our big signing. at the start of the season, and yeah, we need him to perform.
Well, he might have a bit of pressure if we actually pull off the Morgan Rogers transfer from Boro. I think that'll be really interesting. He's a young, hot prospect, and he's very consistent from what I see, and it's just based on YouTube commentary
Yeah,
from Boro fans. But I think he's coming from a good system. What Carrick's
yeah,
got them playing, and obviously
yeah.
transitioning into Villa, I think he'd be up for the challenge. Kind of does make me question why we sold the likes of Archer, but I don't think Archer's been setting Sheffield United alight. So I'm not saying 20 million was good business, but I know there was a buyback, but I don't think we'd be re-invoking it. I'd
No,
love to
probably
still see
not.
what happens with Philogene Bidace. Would have loved to just have him come off the bench. Like surely
Mm.
coming off the bench in the Prem and starting in the cup games is more important than playing 4 minutes championship level. I don't see Hull going straight up either.
No, but I mean, I guess he's thinking if he plays more and more games, he's going to improve. He's going to get more experience. He's going to
And exposure,
maybe,
maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
exposure to other teams, other
True,
Premier League
true,
teams. So,
true.
I mean, I can understand it, but to a point, it is sad, this trend of a lot of clubs selling their homegrown prospects, especially with FFP and all that sort of thing. So,
That
yeah,
sucks.
I would have liked to have seen, Philogene, Kessler Hayden maybe given a game, and especially Archer as well. But look, this is the way of the world these days, and we've got Duran. He looks like he's staying, so that's good to see. And I really think
Um,
that he could be a top
I
prospect.
was going to say, speaking of selling homegrown prospects, you announced something that you stumbled across recently, and I wasn't even aware of this potential transfer lingering. You
Well,
maybe
yeah,
touch
there's
on it a
some
bit, Scotty?
rumors about Jacob Ramsey leaving
Yeah.
Bayern Munich, Tottenham, and there was another club, another English club.
Maybe Juventus or someone, maybe?
No, I think I can't remember. Maybe it was Chelsea, but yeah, there seems to be some interest from no, actually it was Newcastle, I think, was the other team. So
Wow.
yeah, there was talk of a 50 million bid, and
From who?
look from Newcastle, and
Right.
yeah, I mean, and that would be an odd one. Again, I mean, I think the only reason you would sell him is for the FFP.
FFP. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lot of
but
money, Scott. Like,
uh,
but again, if they start at 50, surely
mm,
he's worth a lot more than that if a club's willing to shell out 50 off the cuff.
yeah, I mean, I think he's probably worth 60, maybe
Set
65.
60 to 70.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
but
don't know. Like, it's not a bad bid, Scott. And it's like, is he going to start in this system? The answer is probably not. And is he going to get frustrated? He probably wants to play for England and it's going to want minutes at some point. Like you see Sanson, right? People crack the shits if they're not getting minutes and they're healthy. And, being part of the, no, I don't think everyone has Bailey and even Buendia's mindset, right? Just be a part of the team and be
mm,
grateful. I don't think everyone shares those same, viewpoints.
yeah, I mean, it would be sad, but again, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, what is his ceiling? Can he be one of our top players? I think at the end of last season, I would have said yes, like because I thought he finished the season really well last year, and he hasn't had a great season this season. But I think that yeah, I wouldn't want to get rid of him. I think he has a lot of growth still, and I think you've got to see him flower into the player, 23, 24, year old player that we can see him act close to his best. And because I think this is the way that a team like Villa can really push, the likes of Liverpool, Man City or whatever, is bringing in the youth, and making them develop into great players and taking us to the next level. So yeah, I hope we don't sell him. But if we do,
Chelsea seem
then
to love splurging out for youth. I mean, I think Cole Palmer was a steal at what was it, 20 million?
45, I think it was.
Was it
But
45?
yeah,
Wow,
but
did not
still,
know.
like he's turned into like probably their best signing. And they've signed
Better than
over a
Mudryk, that's for
billion
sure.
pounds of
That's right.
players. So
Half the price of Mudryk and twice the talent. Go figure.
exactly. There was also the fifth round draw, and if we were to beat Chelsea in that
We got Leeds.
replay, Leeds or Plymouth, they've got a replay themselves. So yeah, I mean Leeds United at Villa Park would be a nice game and bring back the old championship sort of feels. And they love to hate us for some reason. I think
I think because of the Bamford moment.
yeah, the Bamford moment and Grealish and some of his, I don't think they liked, some of his antics or whatever, right? Falling over and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'd enjoy that, and it'd be a great chance to get into the quarterfinals if we were to beat Chelsea.
True.
So, yeah, bring it on. I think the further we go in all the competitions, I think it's just better for us as a whole, as a club, because we need these experiences. We need to be, pushing for titles, and yeah, the longer we're in it, the longer the treble dream's alive. Tommy, do you think?
Yeah, it's not over till it's over, as they
That's
say, right?
that's it. You got to be in it to win it.
I think to be honest, I think look, we've obviously had some shit losses more in the league than anything else, and let's probably just reset where we are all of a sudden. Just be grateful that we're even in the top four, let alone near it. I think we forget how far we've come, and I'm not saying fans are fickle, but a lot of people can get carried away, right? I mean, we had a lot of people in the Villa Australia group posting, "Oh, my multi, I've got 10,000 now if it wins," and
Yep.
so, mate, you offered 8-1 at one point, you didn't cash in, and then we went on this bit of a shit streak. I think this was a pre-Man City win, right? Or like 80-1, and
It
now we're
was
kind of back
the
to.
Man United loss and then the draw
Well, no, it was
to.
pre-Man City. We're paying crazy odds because
Oh,
no one
yeah.
expected us to beat City and what's it called, back to back,
Yep.
right? City and Arsenal, and then we're in the mix all of a sudden. And I think that's what separates us from the Liverpools and the Man Cities. They know when to get it done, and to be honest, crunch time's probably hasn't even started yet. I think it's in the next 2-3 months. I still
Absolutely.
think Liverpool now with Klopp, announcing his departure from the club end of the season. I think it'll kind of be a bit of a fairy tale ending for him this year.
Quite possibly. I think
we'll
that,
make top four. I think we'll make top four. I do think
Yeah.
top four is within reach.
Well, that's it. And let's talk about the top four, because we got Newcastle on Tuesday night. This is a real top four 6-pointer. We really
6-pointer.
I'd say Tottenham, Man United, Newcastle, and maybe Chelsea, if they can get their act together, are the biggest contenders for our spot in the top four. And yeah, we really need to win this match. We owe them one after the first game of the season, of course, when they beat us 5-1. And look, they haven't traveled that well recently. They've had a lot of injuries, and yeah, they've had a few issues. But look, I think at Villa Park we should be beating them. And my prediction is I'm going to say 1-0 Villa. I think it'll be tight, but I think we can keep those clean sheets going, and I think we can win. What about you? How do you think we'll go against Newcastle on Tuesday night?
I think it might be 2 or 3-0. I think it'll just be one of those games where we just come out of the gates buzzing. It's happened before. We're on this, like, we've been a bit wavy lately, right? Like, couple shit losses, couple wins, couple draws, and then it just comes out. It's almost like that years ago, right? Remember we pounded Sunderland at home, like 6-0, 6-1, whatever it was, and I think it'll be 2 and 3-0. I think we'll win comfortably. I won't say it's going to be a dominant performance, but I think we'll just be more clinical.
So which one? Because we got to put your prediction in.
I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0.
I'm going to say, since I'm saying we're going to be clinical, 3 is more clinical than 2.
Well, Noah said 2-0 in his message to me, so I've got 1-0. He's got 2-0. You got 3-0. So we're all confident that defense can hold up again. I think Diego Carlos, I'd like to see him come back in for Longley. And keep Matty Cash right back, keep Conser in the middle, and bring Bailey back probably for Tielemans or Diaby, probably Diaby.
I'd like Tielemans to start. I think he finds those nice little pockets, and he's an unselfish player. So I'd rather someone like him. I actually think Diaby, by the looks of it, seems to be a little bit more selfish than he was at the start of the season. It was more team orientated and more focused on assists. Where now I think he gets pretty frustrated if the ball's not played to him so he can score. Don't know where that
does
seem
to be a lot better at home, Diaby. So maybe that'll sort of tip in his favor when the starting lineups come out on Tuesday night. Maybe Emery will go his way, but I think Bailey will definitely come back in, and it's just a matter of case for who. And I agree with you. I'd probably like to see Tielemans given another start. I thought, he was a bit rusty against Chelsea. Like, he's just coming back from injury, missed those chances, and it was a little bit sort of off the pace at times, but I think he'll grow into it and he'll get back to sort of the form he was about a month ago when he was really on fire for us. So looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, I think that's enough for today. We've got another game coming up on Tuesday night, so we'll have another podcast later in the week. Let us know what changes you guys would make for Newcastle. Let us know, what do you think about the Jacob Ramsey bid? Would you like to see him go, or would you like to see him stay? How much do you think he's worth? Let us know in the comments, and any other transfer speculation or team news you want to talk about, let us know, because that really helps us out. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. Check us out over on Spotify as well. All our episodes are over there. So, if you're listening in the car or whatever, just chuck us on. And, we've had a couple of people give us some ratings over there as well. So they're always appreciated. But until Newcastle, up the Villa, and we will see you later in the week. Up the Villa.